Hi guys, it's Nat from HATS, Hope and Dairy Transition Society. This is our Learn to Eat program, and this week you guys asked for it, Irish nachos. It's gonna be pretty easy. It's a very simple, straightforward recipe, but yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay guys, so in your kit this week, you would have received some potatoes, some bacon, not this much bacon, but I had to split it up for the kids, some cheese. I picked up some marble cheese for this week, but you can use whatever cheese you want if you're making this in the future. Some sour cream, some green onions, some tomatoes. That's what was provided in the kit this week, but you can add more to this. So if you want to clean out your fridge, check your crispers out, maybe you've got some fresh peppers or some other veggies that you want to throw on top once it's finished cooking, you can do that. I also found some manzanilla olives, Kalamata olives, and some canned jalapenos. I'm going to throw those on too. So I'm going to start by slicing up the potatoes into quite thin round slices, like 1/4 of an inch. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and prep that, and oh, and then also I've preheated the oven at pretty high, like 450 degrees. So while that's preheating, I'm going to wash these up, slice them, and then we'll get them in the oven, and I'll update you on timing for that here shortly. So I'm going to chop, chop, chop. Okay, so I have sliced all the potatoes up pretty thin, like 1/4 of an inch. Oh, if you hear a muncher in the background, that's Beasley. She's eating her dinner. So, munch, munch. So from here, I'm going to actually, you don't have to do this. I mean, if you have some olive oil on hand, it would be great. Put a tiny bit of olive oil in there to mix up, and then add your spices. For me, I'm just gonna use some salt and pepper. And then I'm also gonna spray, I just wanna show this to you guys. This isn't really part of this class, but I thought I'd share it anyway. I have sort of started a project about eating clean. So I found this avocado oil spray, and it's garlic infused. And it's not powered by, what do you call it? Like an aerosol or anything like that. It's a spritzer. This stuff is great, tastes good too. So I'm just gonna spray a bit of that, mix it, put some salt and pepper on it, shake it up, and then I'm gonna spread it out on my prepared baking sheet. I put some parchment on here to make it a little cleaner and easier. And then I'm going to put them in the oven here at 450, I believe for 20 minutes. And then you flip them over and do another 20 minutes. But I'll double check that because I'm using my phone right now to video, so I can't double check the recipe. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna do that and I'll get right back at it here. Okay, so I seasoned those up, like I said, with my fancy little avocado, sorry, I don't know what I said earlier, I hope I said avocado oil. And then I added salt and pepper, that was it. I only use Himalayan salt because it's actually a mineral and it's actually good for you. Just talking about the oils again really quickly, avocado oil and olive oil are the best oils for you. A lot of the other oils that are out there, like canola oil and soy oil, things like that, are genetically modified. So I've decided not to put those in my body. So anyway, I've got them prepped. As you can see, I cut quite a few, and you want them to only be single layer, so I had to use 2 pans. So, and I was correct. I'm gonna put both of these pans in the oven for 20 minutes, then pull them out and flip them, and then put them back in for another 20 minutes, okay? While that's happening, I'm gonna chop up the bacon and fry it up. And I'm gonna fry it until it's a little bit, like, has a little bit of cooking left to do. Like, I don't want it super crispy because I'm gonna put those on the nachos when it's all done and warm it back up. So I don't want them to be too crunchy, but that's a personal preference. Maybe you like your bacon super crunchy. But anyway, I'm gonna take care of that bacon while these are going in for 20 minutes again, and then flip them another 20 minutes. All right. Okay guys, 20 minutes is up. So I'm gonna take both pans out. This is just the first pan, and flip them over. Look how nice and golden they are. That looks great. So yeah, I'm gonna flip these over and put them back in for another 20 minutes. And during that first 20 minutes, I managed to cook my bacon and prep my other veggies, my tomatoes and green onion. I had those extras in my fridge, so some olives, some jalapeno, and that's where you can get creative. We'll review it when we start stacking, but I prefer to have my tomatoes and green onions on the top after it's cooked, and I don't mind my olives and jalapenos and bacon going in to cook a little longer when we melt the cheese. But anyway, we'll get back to that. All right. Okay guys, so I ended up taking these out a little bit early, probably about the 13-minute mark, because they were looking pretty crispy to me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just layer them. So I like layered nachos myself, so something like that looks good to me. And then I'm gonna put cheese on. Here's my cheese. A little more cheese. And then I'm going to add half my bacon. And I'm going to add my olives and half my olives, sorry. These were extra in my fridge, sorry they're not in your kit, but maybe like cooked in there. I also like cooking my jalapenos. This really isn't cooking. You're really just going to put it in for about 5-10 minutes until all the cheese is melted. I can't do this with one hand, so I'm just going to pop these pieces on top and then layer it again, and back in the oven it goes for, like I said, another 5 or 10 minutes. I did turn the oven down to 375 because 450 is probably a little bit hot for just melting some cheese. So yeah, we'll be done in a moment. And here you have it, folks, your Irish nachos. I only had to melt the cheese, only took like 7 minutes. And I ended up putting my green onions and tomatoes on top and a dollop of sour cream. You can also add some salsa, or if you have an avocado, you can mush that up, add a little bit of lemon juice to that, salt and pepper. You've got a fancy guacamole. So anyway, looks good, eh? Yum. Enjoy.